is Klaus Schwab. I need your help, guys. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time because I haven't been able to find almost any videos or anything whatsoever that simply discusses who Klaus Schwab really is. Not just the face of an organization that is trying to decide our future for us without being elected into any position of power, but where did he come from? There are still people I know who hear his name and have no clue who he is. Is it by design? We know that Google filters search results based on what they do and don't want us to see. Is this one of those things? Let's test that theory and see if this video is able to get out to the masses or if it will be scrubbed away too. This will be part one of a series as there is a lot of information to share. I'm going to start with a disclaimer. The following is what we think we know about Klaus Schwab. I have a sneaky suspicion that there's more than meets the eye. Klaus Martin Schwab, born in March of 1938 in Ravensburg, Germany, is an engineer, economist, professor of business policy, and the founder of the World Economic Forum. His wife Hilda works ironically as an agenda contributor at the World Economic Forum. His son Olivier and daughter Nicole also share the same title. Nicole also founded the Gender Equality Project. It is nearly impossible to find any information on the life of Klaus Schwab prior to 1971, which was the year he founded the WEF and also the year he got married. Many have speculated that it's because Schwab's family may have some horrific historical ties that, if exposed, could bring unwanted scrutiny to his beloved WEF. Although if you know anything about the World Economic Forum whatsoever, you know that everything tied to the WEF is questionable and anti-human disguised as humanitarian. But before I dive deeper into the WEF, I did find some interesting information buried deep in the internet. You won't easily be able to Google, of course, but this is what I found. If you look at the history of Ravensburg in the 1930s, where Klaus was born, many crimes against humanity occurred against the Jewish population, including forced sterilizations, which became the most performed medical procedure in the municipal hospital. During this time, Klaus's father, Eugen Schwab, a machine engineer, managed to work his way to the top ranks of Swiss, a Nazi-supported German branch of a Swiss engineering firm that used slave labor to produce machinery critical to the Nazi war effort, as well as the Nazis' effort to produce heavy water for its nuclear and atomic bomb program. Before Nazi support and Schwab taking over, Swiss was on the brink of failure and closure. After being a well-known personality in Ravensburg, as the managing director of Swiss, from before the war, Eugen would eventually be elected as president of the Ravensburg Chamber of Commerce. Afterward, not only was the factory a major employer in the town, but while Eugen Schwab was at the helm, Hitler's own Nazi party awarded the Swiss Ravensburg branch the title of National Socialist Model Company. You can find more information about this from data compiled by the Office of Strategic Services at archives.gov Record Group 226, which specifically states that Western military intelligence was aware of Escherwiss's complicity and collaboration with the Nazis. Interestingly, years later, in 1966, at the same company, a young Klaus Schwab served on the board of directors when the decision was made to furnish the racist apartheid regime of South Africa with the necessary equipment to further its quest to become a nuclear power. This connection was not officially published anywhere until 2007, when a man named George Kreis released a report by Peter Hugg entitled Switzerland and South Africa, 1948 through 1994, Final Report of the NFP 42+ commissioned by the Swiss Federal Council. In 1967, Klaus Schwab gained a doctorate in economics from the University of Freiburg, Switzerland, as well as a Master of Public Administration from the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard in the United States. While at Harvard, Schwab was taught by Henry Kissinger, who he would later say was one of the top figures who had most influenced his thinking over the course of his entire life. In 1970, Klaus Schwab wrote to the European Commission and asked for help in setting up a non-commercial think tank for European business leaders. The European Commission sponsored the event, sending French politician Raymond Barre to act as the forum's intellectual mentor. I should note that this commissioner who approved this and made this possible, Raymond Barre, would later go on to become French Prime Minister and would be accused of making anti-Semitic comments while in office. Schwab left Escher Wyss to organize that 2-week business managerial conference. In 1971, the first meeting of the World Economic Forum, then called the European Management Symposium, convened in Davos, Switzerland. Around 450 participants from 31 countries would take part in Schwab's first European Management Symposium, mostly made up of managers from various European companies, politicians, and U.S. academics. Klaus Schwab received assistance from Hilde Stoll, who later became his wife that same year. Schwab's mission for the World Economic Forum is based on what is known as stakeholder theory. The stakeholder theory proposes that while a private sector entity's aim is to increase profits for its shareholders, it is incumbent upon the organization to view the rest of society as having a stake in the company's actions. Political leaders were invited for the first time to Davos in January 1974. The organization introduced a system of membership for the 1,000 leading companies of the world. In addition, many celebrities, journalists, and interested individuals are willing to pay steep annual dues and meeting fees to attend. Regional meetings are held in developing nations in Africa, East Asia, and Latin America, but the annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland is the central meeting event for all members. The next Davos meeting is next week from January 16th through the 20th with the theme, Cooperation in a Fragmented World. WEF meetings introduce new issues, trends, and organizations to members and the public for discussion and are commonly believed to influence corporate and public sector decision-making. I will dive deeper into the World Economic Forum and all of its connections to an overwhelming number of things you see in the world today, but I will leave you with some clips that may help you understand why you should be so concerned.
There's no longer any doubt that humans are heating up the oceans, land, and sea by burning fossil fuels.
The world has to overcome not only the damage done to our economies and our societies by COVID-19, it also has to confront the repercussions.
سرعة التغيير القادمة أكبر بكثير مما نتوقع.
I see a future where the internet is available for free for everyone, and that means the location of power is going to shift. Decentralization of power structures everywhere may be the beginning of that shift in finance, in political power.
We have to uphold our responsibility, which we have towards the next generation. When we define a project like our global educational initiative, I just describe it in a second. We have, under the leadership of Cisco and many other companies, practically all the big names, we try to revolutionize the educational system of Jordan, Egypt, and now Burundi, by working together with the local authorities. We work also together with UNESCO, not only to equip the schools, but to to retrain the teachers, to put the new curricula into place. So we work together we accompany those companies. We do not, such a difference to the Clinton initiative. The young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet, are actually young noble leaders of the Nordic reform. We penetrate the cabinets. The change can be shaped by us. I see the need for a great reset.
In my humble opinion, I classify this as the meeting where the global elitists, rich and powerful, get together to plan coups and strike deals under the guise of saving the world, but I'll let you decide for yourself. Until next time, thanks for listening.